Since this is kind of just a Q&A session, I mean, I have a couple topics just to make sure people are finding things, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
I do feel confused on how we're going to do the team-based learning stuff. I saw the thing on Blackboard, like my team is on the sidebar, but just kind of confused on how we're going to submit things and if there's a timeline that it's due and whatnot.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to really do things differently. So I'm not expecting that you're gonna be able to really actually work in your teams. I set those up as like an option if you want to try to work on any assignments, you know, together or like to ask questions or get help, but you can do that with anyone in class however you like, right? In terms of communicating and like, and of course you can email me. So they're really kind of optional.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in terms of the assignments, they're all going to be posted in the Module 3 Assignments tab. And
Okay.
each one of them has the due date in the name of the assignment. So there was nothing due today. And then Thursday, there's two things. If you haven't already, send me your research topic. And then there's the reading guide 15 for pedigrees. We're not going to do any quizzes while we're doing online. So we're going to just have you guys upload your answers to the reading guide questions.
Oh, okay.
So that's posted in the Module 3 assignments also.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hi, Hannah.
Hello.
There she is. How are all of you guys with like Wi-Fi connections? Obviously, you were able to be here today virtually, but is it easy for you to do that?
Yeah, it's pretty easy for me to use WebEx. This is actually working better than yesterday when I met with my epigenetics class. So this format looks a bit different. It's almost like it's newer. So I don't know
Huh.
what it is, but yeah, I like this. This is cool.
All right, good. Does anybody think they're going to have any challenges like getting consistent Wi-Fi for any of your classes?
No, I think Wi-Fi will be good unless like my apartment complex stops providing it for any reason.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, that's good.
I've never used WebEx before, so hopefully it's simple to use. I don't know.
Well, so far so good. It's new for me also. So I'm gonna try to show you guys like once we get just I'll wait till 11 just in case we get a few more people. I'm gonna like share just like a couple of my notes. So we'll kind of experiment and see how we do. But I'm definitely expecting bumps in terms of all of this. So um, we're just gonna all have to be really flexible, and that's okay.
Okay.
Hi, Allison.
Hi, Dr. Cisa.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
Good. Pretty good. So one thing I can tell you guys, you can see the list of who has joined a WebEx meeting by clicking on participant. And for me, that's on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
So I see that there are 6 of us right now who have joined this meeting. You have the option of turning off your video if you want. Totally, I don't mind either way. So the little camera symbol, the blue camera symbol near your name, you can toggle that on or off.
Where'd it go? God, what's going on?
Hi, Jordan. Hi, Rebecca. Jordan and Rebecca, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Great. Awesome. Saw your chat, Rebecca. If you guys want to experiment, you can also type into that chat bar. So the things you should be able to see on the right-hand side are the list of people who've joined. And then below participants is a chat bar. And you can either send a message to everyone, which is what I would suggest, or you can actually send a message to an individual person. Hi, Erica.
Oh,
Welcome to WebEx.
it's working good.
Yes, yes, so far success. This is my first actual WebEx session, so we'll take it one step at a time. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
I was telling everyone, if you want, it's optional, but if you want to turn your video off, it's okay with me.
Okay, cool.
You're also welcome to leave it on. I'll leave mine on, but totally up to you. To
Awesome.
turn it off, you just click on the little camera icon. It's blue and it should be next to your name. You can also I think
I see it.
depending on, excuse me, which version you guys have, and if you're using an app or whatever of the WebEx software, you may see, like, if you kind of hover towards the bottom of the screen, you may see some choices to adjust audio and video there also. I'm not sure how it exactly looks with each version. I think the other thing is, if you want, and if you're having a hard time, if you want to ask me to turn off your video, I can do that also. I think I have that option. All right, well, it's just about 11. I'm not sure how many other people will join. And on any of these days, feel free to just join anytime between 11 and 12:15. Like, I'll just plan to be here. So if you have questions, especially with anything, if you have questions with anything, but especially with the paper, there's always lots of questions. So this will just be a time that you could ask me, like easily speaking. Of course, you can email me anytime also. So I just have a couple topics and maybe we can just go through each one of them and see if anyone has questions on like each of those topics. I am recording this session for anyone who wasn't able to join us, and then everyone can hear the answers to any questions. I think that'll be helpful for everyone. Okay, so the first place I wanted to start is just to let you know that there's now I posted under the course materials readings tab some resources for students about tips to manage anxiety, local food resources if you're still in the Mount Pleasant area, and then just general quarantine resources. There are some companies like Spectrum that are providing Wi-Fi and things like that. So I just wanted to let you know that there are some resources posted there, again, under the course materials readings tab. And if anyone has any particular concerns or questions about just kind of how to manage this situation, feel free to ask me or anybody else, any of your professors. Okay, so in terms of class material, I just wanted to make sure that everyone got all the parts of midterm 2. So I scanned those in and emailed them out. Did anyone not get midterm 2 pieces? Everyone, so far, everyone, at least who's here today, was able to get those? Okay. If you have any questions about midterm 2, feel free to email, or we can arrange a time to talk. So, okay, so that was my first one, just to make sure people got that back, just to kind of close out module 2. So as we go into the genetics module, there are going to be a couple pieces with our new format. I want to make sure that everyone's able to access these lecture note videos. I'm going to try to keep them fairly short. They're YouTube links, which I thought hopefully everyone will be able to open. Hi, everyone who's joining. I see a longer list. That's great. Good to see everybody. Anybody have any questions about using WebEx at the moment? I was telling students, you can feel free to have the option to turn off your video if you want. I'm going to keep mine on just so you can see it, but if you want, you can turn off that little blue camera icon. You can also chat and ask questions in the chat bar, which is below the list of participants. For me, that's on the right-hand side of my screen. I'm not sure if that will look the same for everybody, depending on if you're using an app on your phone versus on the computer. Okay, so access to the lecture note videos. I know I've seen some people have viewed them, or at least parts of them. Has anyone had a problem opening up those links? Okay, not hearing any questions. If you have questions, feel free again. You can either just blurt them out, because I think we're not that huge a group, or you can type into that chat bar, which is at the bottom. Okay, so accessing the lecture note videos, for example, the first one that I posted is helpful in terms of picking your research topic. So it goes through and shows you kind of, I'm going to model how to do this research paper using cystic fibrosis as an example. So that first PowerPoint video, it's just a narrated PowerPoint that I've posted on as a YouTube link that just kind of walks you through that process. So that's helpful to look at if you haven't yet picked a topic. I need to know what topic you're going to write about for your research paper by Thursday. And I can definitely help you. So feel free to email. And then keeping track of assignments. So those are going to be posted in the Module 3 Assignments tab. So on the left bar of Blackboard, there's a Module 3 Assignments tab. And there's a couple things posted. One is the assignment that's due Thursday, and that is for you to write out your answers to the reading guide questions for pedigrees. So there's about 10 questions. We will not be having any quizzes, and it's very difficult to try to coordinate that in teams. And okay, I'm seeing some questions, and I want to make sure that I can see all of them, and I'm not. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna take a minute to answer these questions. So do you email the assignment answers or submit them on Blackboard? So I'm gonna type out that answer and I'll say it out loud. So for all assignments upload in Blackboard. And that's why I've made that assignments tab. So find the place, let's see, find the assignment in the module 3 assignments tab. And it should be pretty straightforward to do that uploading. You just upload a Word document. But if you get stuck or you have any questions, let me know. But by uploading them in Blackboard, that means I won't lose them in my email. So that'll be an easier way for me to organize them. And then the second question we have so far is about picking topics. So if you pick a complex disease, do I want to know which gene you're focusing on? And I would say definitely eventually. I don't need to know that by Thursday. But again, I guess I'll type it out. I don't know if that's helpful. But if you pick a complex disease, which means, right, there may be multiple genes that are associated with causing that disease, you're going to want to pick a single gene. So let's say this. Let's say by next Tuesday, give you a little bit extra time. Let me know which gene you will focus on. Okay, so again, if you're picking complex disease where there's multiple genes associated, you don't need to know that by this Thursday, but by next Tuesday, I think it'll be helpful. Take a quick look at the gene you've picked to make sure, again, that it's going to work really well for the research paper. For some of the genes and some of the diseases, there's not as much known. So I just want to make sure you're going to be able to find enough information. There's another question about topics. Is there a list of topics? There are hundreds and hundreds of diseases. There's a short list in the March 17th PowerPoint video, which is a short list of the monogenic diseases that just comes from one of the chapters, genetic. But really, if you're having trouble picking a topic, I can probably find a longer list because it's a pretty short list. So I will post a source today for more possible topics. Okay, so that's a good question. And then there was another question about, for the reading guide on pedigrees, is there a paper to read? For the pedigree reading guide, there is at the top of the assignment, there's a link that basically, has it's an online chapter, and it has the answers to those reading guide questions. Also, I'm recommending that you watch the first of the March 19th videos, which is on pedigrees. It's a short video, it's like 11 minutes, and I think it has a lot of the answers, maybe not quite all of them. So 2 places to find the answers to the reading guide questions. One is the actual online chapter, and the link to that is in the assignment. And then the second place to look is the PowerPoint video, the first one for March 19th. Okay, good. So far, everyone good so far? Looks like we've got 15 of you, so that's great. Okay. Okay, so really, I think those are the major things I wanted to kind of go through. I am going to post, I also made like a Word document that has kind of exactly what to do this week, just a little bit more, more concise. So it's just easier to look at. So I'm going to post that after our session as well, right? So basically for this week, 2 things, just to say it one more time, email me your research topic. And I'm going to post another source today for more topics. And also, there's one assignment due this week, which is posted in the Module 3 assignments, and that is on pedigrees. And the assignment is to answer about 10 questions from the reading guide. Okay, and then you'll upload those through Blackboard assignments. Let me know if you have any questions as you kind of, click in there and get into it. Yeah, so office hours. So there's a question about will we have online office hours? So I'm kind of using these sessions as exactly that, but we could definitely add to those. My regular office hours are those Monday and Wednesday afternoon hours. Um, would that be helpful? You can feel free to chat yes. Like more WebEx office hours. Would that be helpful for people? Because I'm willing to do it, but I just want to do whatever works for you guys. Feel free to like either say something like yes, more office hours would be good, or you can type into the chat bar. You think these will be okay for now? Okay. Feel free to, oh, and then maybe one more day. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do another one. I don't know if Monday or Wednesday is necessarily better. Is there any preference versus Wednesday? You can all, I mean, you can always email also. We can set up like, um, even private WebEx sessions if we want to just chat, one-on-one. Yeah, maybe Monday. I think that's kind of what I was leaning towards too, just so we have kind of like an overview for the week. All right, so I'll plan and I will let everybody know that we will also have like WebEx office hours on Mondays, Monday afternoon. Okay. That sounds good. And we can adapt this as we go. Whatever we need to do. Okay. There was a question earlier that I just want to also come back to. So you saw in your Blackboard shells that you have these team discussion boards, and there was a question about how we're going to use those. We're really using these as optional tools for a place where with your existing or your old, teams for modules 1 and 2, so people that you're comfortable working with already, we're a place where you could actually ask questions just within that team, so kind of, a smaller group. So while you're working on, for example, the answers to the reading guide questions, if you get stuck or you just want to compare notes with someone, you can do that. I'm really very happy for you guys to work together however you want to. So it could be within those discussion boards, or it could be however else you want to interact with each other. But I'm absolutely happy for you to work together on assignments. Just make sure that your final answers are in your own words. Does anybody have any questions on discussion boards? Did that make sense? Great. Okay. So, so far so good, at least. Thanks for letting me know. Okay. There's a question about if you can't make a WebEx session, do I need to know? Absolutely not. Like I said, I'm going to post them. I really don't feel like I can ask you guys to consistently connect to Wi-Fi and join us. So I just want these for you guys. And again, I think the benefit mostly is that there are going to be questions that someone will ask where it's like, oh yeah, like I have that question too. And so if we can share those answers with everyone, because I'll record the sessions, right, and make them available to everyone, I think that will be really helpful. That was my long answer. That no, you don't have to let me know, but I'm happy for as many people to join as can. I guess one more point, as we think about like our one big project for this semester or for the rest of the semester, right, in module 3, this research paper, the first draft is going to be due March 31st. Again, you'll upload that through Blackboard. You will probably need some review articles. And the best way to get those is to go to the PubMed website and type in the name of your disease and the word review. And I've got this posted into the PowerPoint video for March 17th, but I'm going to repost that information. I also have the directions for how to use interlibrary loan. Those instructions are posted in the research paper overview folder. So if you've never used interlibrary loan, it's a free service the library provides to send you PDFs of research articles that are not freely available. So you should definitely not pay for any research articles, okay? So if you have any questions about that, as well as you start looking for sources for your research paper, right? Once you've got your topic, you can immediately start looking for some of those sources. And the assignment for that draft of parts 1 through 3 is posted as an assignment. Okay, so you can take a look at that, and then we'll see if there's questions as we get closer to March 31st. All right, once you start working on it, you'll probably have some questions. Any questions anybody wants to ask about the research paper or this first draft at this point? Yeah, there is a rubric, and it is posted in, it's about an 8-page, right? The overview for the entire research paper is about an 8-page document. That's been posted on Blackboard in the research paper tab. So I think that should be really helpful. Basically the rubric for the draft is going to be the same as for the paper. However, the grading is going to be different, right? So for the draft, the grading is going to basically be, did you find sources? Are you in, did you write some complete sentences in your own words to try to address the different points? The flow of the paper is pretty much prescribed. So I'm telling you how I want you to organize it, for better or worse, but I think it's mostly helpful. So that part I think is good. And again, the grading for the drafts is mostly going to be effort, to be honest. As long as it looks like you've made a good effort to try to, to address the different points. The whole point of a draft is that I'll give you feedback so that you can then, if there's something missing or something's not quite clear, right, I can tell you that, so that you'll be able to whatever is missing in for the final paper. But if there's a lot of things missing, that's going to be a problem, right? So you do want to make sure that you are asking questions if you're getting stuck and you can't find answers. I usually have a lot of conversations with students as we're working on these research papers. So really don't hold back. Just feel free to ask questions as you go. Those are all the things I'm thinking about right now. Does anybody have anything else they want to ask about? I'm going to stay here in the chat just in case other people are going to try to join and want to ask questions. If you feel like you know what you need to know for this week, it's fine with me if you want to leave the meeting. If you have any other questions about what to do this week, now's a good time to ask. You can always type in a question into the chat message bar, or you could just ask out loud. Right, so there's a question, just watching videos today, and then everything else this week is for Thursday, and yep, that's correct. So there's just really 2 things to accomplish for this week. Letting me know your research topic, and then doing the assignment posted. It's due Thursday by 11 a.m., and it's pretty short. It's answering the questions to the Pedigree Reading Guide. Question from the grad students, right. So usually we don't even think about the presentations for a little while because they're going to basically be based on your research paper. So you wouldn't want to even probably start doing much with them until you've got most of the paper written. I'm going to be thinking about what I'm going to ask you guys to do with that. I'm not convinced that we're going to be back face to face. I hope we are, but I'm not counting on it. So I will definitely be in touch with you about the presentations. I may ask you guys to do what I did, which is just to kind of narrate a PowerPoint that we could upload and we can all watch. And I can tell you how to do that. It was really easy. But we'll figure out what works best.